Welcome to another episode of Systematic Geekology. This is a space where we seek to create and cultivate healthy conversations between those things we geek out on and the philosophical and theological questions that often arise out of our fandoms. Like, what does it mean to be human? What makes a hero? What makes a villain? How do the stories and narratives we geek out on shape how we live in the world? We are your priest to the geeks. We aren't all ordained, but we see ourselves as mediators at the intersection of geek culture and going deeper in our faith. We don't always have to agree, but we do respect each other. And we see everyone as a beloved child of God. Everyone geeks out on something, so come geek out with us and enjoy the show.
You're listening to an Anazal Ministries podcast.
Merry Halloween, friends. Welcome to another drive-in. Yes, it's so fun to go to movies with your friends, and today's episode is the first in our All Hallows Eve drive-in special, in keeping with our theme of verses and doing our best to find the good in the other. And so today, to kick off this series, we are going to discuss the Oscar-winning 2004 Alien versus Predator. And I have some fellow geeks with me who joined me at the drive-in, Ryan and Leah. And we just wrapped up this movie. The movie just, in credits, we watched all the way through the credits in case there would be like an in-credit scene. There's not. And so what we did, we left a little disappointed. There's no in-credit scene. And we're leaving the theater, and I turn to Leah and I say, Leah, what's the first words out of your mouth? What's the first reaction? And I look at you and say, what'd you think about Alien versus Predator?
My first reaction is the one I have in real life at our drive-in is, well, I can't get that hour and a half back.
There you go. Can't get that hour and a half back. Ryan, we're leaving you. After she says that, I look at you and go, well, what do you thought? What do you think about this? What are your thoughts on this movie? Quick reactions. First thing you say.
Man, Leah and I are probably going to come down on opposite sides of this movie.
Ooh, in line with our versus theme. Okay.
Well, I guess the thought I would have had if I'm sitting right next to Leah during this movie, I'm like, oh no, are we going to be able to be friends after this? Because I think we're going to hate each other. I love the last image this movie gives us. It's like, oh shit, we're going to get another movie. But this was the first Alien or Predator movie I ever saw. So I kind of would have been blown away. Like, yeah. But the best was yet to come.
There you go. All right, good. Well, for me, I turned to both of you and I'm like, well, flares and jump scares, just what we needed. PG-13 Alien versus Predator movie. I'm so glad that was PG-13 that you could bring the family to come watch this movie.
Was that PG-13?
It sure was.
There was a lot of stabbing for that to be PG-13.
2004. Remember 2004? We were just stabby. It was 2004 was very stabby.
PG-13 meant something back then.
It meant something back then.
You had to be a real old 13 for that to be.
So folks, that's our first reactions to this movie. And yeah, when we were thinking of movies in this versus category for Halloween, you'll listen to other drive-in episodes of verses that are actually in the title of these drive-ins. It's not just like pitting two monsters against each other, but the movie title has verses in it. So,
okay.
What is like Leah? You're real briefly here. What's your relationship to this franchise, Alien and Predator, or both, or either?
Briefly, I don't think.
Yeah, I know it's hard. I know it's gonna be hard.
Didn't we do this last year?
It's not a 3-hour ride. It's not a 3-hour ride home.
So
it's like a 15-minute ride home.
Freddy versus Jason, and you don't have me on. I'm gonna have thoughts because that's all.
Oh, I think that's somebody else. It's not me. I think that's somebody else.
I was in college. I saw it in the theater. My relationship with Predator, I'll start there, is fairly limited. I've seen like the Arnold Schwarzenegger one and the this one, and I think one other. I sort of got the premise. I will say I think that's what this movie was good for, is you got a little more of the background of Predator, which gave me a little more insight into that. You got no background into the alien, it seems like. So they just showed up, apparently. But we didn't need that because we had Ridley Scott. So, that's I love, on the other side, I love the alien film. As I go and watch Brian and I's podcast, Fear Camp, about that. So I've always loved the aliens. And the first one I saw was Alien. And I've seen, I think, all of them at this stage. I don't think there's any I haven't. And I saw this like way back and clearly remembered none. And I was like screeching. It is flares and jump scares. It truly is.
Yeah,
I will say it's a scary film in that sense. Like,
yeah.
I was like, oh,
yeah. I'm gonna send a flare gun out and call my friends or.
It uses a lot of really good horror tropes.
Sure.
Oh
does.
yeah.
It doesn't add to the story unless you're like big into Predator lore. But
Yeah.
I do think it uses a lot of good horror tropes.
Yeah,
That was. I'll hit more on that later. I was like, this is like, if you love trope heavy movies and you're okay with it being like a pastiche of things you already know are coming, you're gonna enjoy it. Like, but Will, would you like me to give the short little bio?
Yeah. Like, what's your relationship to this series? Yeah.
So this was the first movie with either character that I ever saw. So if you're listening to this and you're like, what do you mean you didn't watch Ridley Scott's original Alien movie first? I'm like, I was 13 when this came out. And the idea of a intergalactic bounty hunter fighting an alien lizard monster. Yeah, I'm going to go to a theater, sneak away $10 and go have a great Saturday at the movie theater.
And you were 14, so you didn't get in trouble because it's PG-13.
Bingo.
Yeah.
We're
I'm
traumatized.
pretty sure like a friend of mine and I went and saw this, but like it was more it was grittier, it was darker, it was what Leah said, it was scarier than like a Star Wars movie had ever been. So I was like, oh, there's more to sci-fi. There's more sci-fi than what I've been exposed to. But then like I went really heavy into the Predator franchise first. Saw the original Schwarzenegger movie. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is perfection. Like it's nasty. Like that movie is gross. But then I saw the Danny Glover one and I was like, oh, so they do get worse. Like, but that one's nasty and gory too. And I didn't get into Alien proper until Ridley Scott's new movies were coming out. So when Prometheus was coming out, I was like, oh, I should probably go watch these movies. So I bought like a box set of the original 4 Alien films, and I just like watched them on repeat through high school. And Predator, Predator had a few movies that came out while I was in high school. So Predators, the Adrian Brody led movie, like that movie does a lot of what Leah was saying this movie does. It adds to the Predator lore. Predator is probably the better franchise when it comes to the lore of the central monster. But because there's not much you need to know about the alien as a creature. Like we know how it works, and we just have to put the way it works into different scenarios.
Unless there's a TV show that has like a human that can communicate with it, and then we'll get some backstory of how they're feeling.
Yeah, who knows what that would even look like for 8 episodes or so.
And also, if the alien happened to get inside the body of something that it isn't the body of, like a predator.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I didn't see the sequel, but I'm guessing it's going to be a little bit tougher to kill.
I need to watch the sequel. But before we do that, Brian, sorry to cut you off, but in terms of like the plot of this movie, like, so we got our kind of relationship. I'll share my relationship. Like I watched the Alien movies growing up. I love the Predator movie. I never watched in 2004. It's like my gap of like going to see. So I never saw this movie until this assignment of this.
Oh.
And I knew of it, but never just went down that road. So someone said, like, you know what we should do? We should have these two aliens fight. That'd be kind of fun. And they did that in 2004. But with this plot, Leah, I know this doesn't fall in continuity. It's almost like a Alien What If movie, because it's not like it falls in 2004. We have Whalen, we have Bishop, we have what in terms of the plot. Can you summarize the plot?
Oh,
What's going on here? Let's hear what we got
What
here.
if I actually hadn't seen the movie and I was like trying to bluff?
Yeah, there
This
you go.
would be
All right.
this would
All
be
right,
the
prof. All right,
I was
prof.
gonna
Fuck the
say-
paper.
Let's see how good I could BS this. So it appears that Waylon is still at it, and you get to meet Waylon this
Mhm.
time. You do some. You get to meet. Essentially, this group, it's in Antarctica, I think.
Yeah.
They have this like abandoned research center, and it feels like they're still doing like the space research and all of that. There's this abandoned center that they have in Antarctica, and essentially they do scans of the Earth, and they've seen it's very tenuous. As I was watching it, I was like, "What is happening?" And there's a heat signal that comes from underneath the ground at this abandoned center, and so they're like, instead of thinking, that could be global warming, or maybe that's a animal fell down that big hole we dug in the ground. They're like, we should go check it out.
Right.
With lots of humans, a lot of them.
And that
Many-
never goes wrong in sci-fi ever.
Let's go look at it.
Get your team together. You got to get your team together.
And a team of misfitty people get together. Some of them are kind of mercenary-like. Some of them are professors. One is a guide who's a woman. So again,
And they're all armed
keep up
because they
with
don't
that
know
one.
what's there, but they're going to just, gun up because they don't know
They
what's
got guns. They got a hot professor of anthropology / history / archaeology who just knows all the things, apparently. 'Cause that's how PhDs work. And I just automatically know hieroglyphics. Oh, guys, I don't know if but the little special.
I know ancient alien hieroglyphics that no one's ever
He goes-
seen
He
before.
goes, actually, that's not what that says. I'm like, how do you know? Did you learn that?
Okay, hot Spanish guy, how would you know?
I was going to say, you're hot, so I believe you. But was that in your qualifying exams for your PhD? Was alien hieroglyphics? Anyway, so
Talk ancient text to me.
right? So the look like that, you know how to talk. So essentially they go and they try to check out this heat signal. Waylon comes along even though he's on his way to death because he's like, I need this for reasons. Man reasons, I guess. Ego. There's a lot of ego playing out.
Sure.
And
The trope.
when they get down there, come to find out there was a heat signal, and it came from the predators who were found the hardest thing to kill. That showed that they were real important alien people, which was the alien as we know it. And so there's this like mother alien down there that's periodically unfrozen and giving birth to alien babies so that they can kill, and then the men are stupid and essentially everyone died except for
Yeah, there's a final girl. There's a final girl.
There's a final girl.
There's a final girl. And in the midst of this, like, I love the thing of like, oh man, eye rolling moment was like, oh great. Yeah. The predators built all the pyramids around the world. Another alien built a pyramid. It's not that humans are smart and can build pyramids, but they're the ones who come back every 100 years.
Suddenly that weird guy that did Alien, what is it called? Alien what? With the hair?
Yeah.
The History Channel guy? Alien.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He starts to make a lot more sense. after you see this
Ancient
film.
aliens.
Ancient aliens.
Yeah.
This is very based on an ancient alien theory or whatever.
Yeah. So they to set up this kind of arena for initiation, the predators set up this pyramid / place where they can.
It's a pyramid scheme.
It's a pyramid scheme, and some win and some lose. If you're at the bottom of the pyramid, or at the top of the pyramid, and then there's lots of alien blood that like burn lots of things. That's another thing.
Yeah, they put a scar.
There's
in
a lot of
for,
alien blood burning up folks and scarring. But Ryan, what do we miss here? I know you're
Well, I would like to just correct you on one thing, friend. Technically, the tagline of the movie was, "No matter who wins, we lose," which is like the most 80s action movie tagline you could give this movie.
I was going to ask this question later on, but I was going to say, who wins in this movie? Then us.
I cannot believe this, Will. You invited me here as a friend, having a conversation amongst friends, and I feel like this is a piece of ambush journalism. That I feel like I'm the only person that has positive, like, I'm not gonna say like I love this movie. It would be like the movie I'd want to be buried with. But like was I the only one that had a good time watching this movie?
No, I had a good time.
I had a good time. Okay. I'm picking on it, and part of this is fine and good. And I will say, like, go for it.
Well, Leah knows this because I said this. I was like, 95% of that is Sana Lathan. Like I'm gonna be the most reductionist version of a white straight guy that I can be. She is a smoke show, but I do like. I loved the setup is so quick and like they're like, hey, there's a temple underneath Antarctica. The Yuacha predators, they use it as a testing ground for their new hunters. Okay, they bring out this mother queen xenomorph to keep, basically like as the respawn for the test, and then they get lured down in there because we can't have aliens without people for the aliens to burst out of. Like I love the I keep forgetting the hot scientist guy's name, Sebastian. Yep. But he's like, as he's inspecting the bodies, he's like oh, something something came out of this, like their heart. It's like, and the one like the edgy action girl who brought the gun because she treats guns like condoms. Yes, everybody, that's an actual line that gets sent in the movie. It is. She's like,
edgy because her hair is short.
Exactly. She's edgy because she doesn't smile and she's got a gun. But she's like, yeah, that's all well and great, but like that's not where the heart is. I'm like, how in the world are you a PhD in like archaeology and you don't know where the human heart is?
Stop yelling at him. He's too pretty. He couldn't figure. He was too busy learning ancient alien art or hieroglyphics, no anatomy.
For languages that we've never seen.
But I will say, spoilers, folks. If you listen to this and you haven't seen this movie, please go back and watch it. But spoilers. He's not too pretty not to be shot, not to be taken out. Yeah, that
was a brutal part of the movie.
That was a brutal part of the movie. Like was this movie a good idea? What good can we see in this movie? I will say it was about the first quarter of the movie. I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we dragging so long with this team and these jump scares? Let's get to it. And you don't get to the real fighting between the aliens until like 53-minute mark. Like halfway through the movie, that's when they really start ramping up the action and they're going to town and the humans are caught in the middle and being used and all that thing. So when they're walking through this Indiana Jones temple with booby traps and they're getting trapped in a maze, I'm like, yep. Here we go. I'm ready to go. This is fun. And then there's certain people you can't wait to get killed off. And you hope to, who's going to win at the end, or who's going to live at the end. But then when Wayland died, I'm like, wait a minute, how does this fit to 2144 or whatever the next Alien movie is?
Oh, we had loads of kids. That's what Rich.
Yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't like the original Wayland. This is like.
I think it's a long line of Wayland.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Wayland is like a family dynasty. Like this is not like Guy Pearce. This is not Guy Pearce in Prometheus. Okay. If that's an insider reference, I'm sorry.
No. Like for someone who doesn't know, I was trying to like, even with like Alien Earth, I was trying to see where these things fall in the timeline because I like continuity. I like to see how things fit, and if it's just a big what if, it doesn't count in regular continuity. That's fine. Just as long
I think
as
it was in the universe. They were trying to keep it in just by putting Wayland on it. It's going to put it in the universe.
Right.
Yeah.
And like the other thing, you mentioned Bishop earlier, Will. Lance Henriksen, the actor that played Wayland in this movie, was the actor that played Bishop in Aliens. And I believe he shows up at the end of Alien 3 as well as Lance Henriksen has played like 3 different characters in this franchise. So
don't look here.
Nothing to see here, everybody. Just keep moving.
Maybe get like a little pencil mustache.
His doppelganger. This is evil twin right over there. See, look. But yeah,
I know you have a lot you need to get to, Will.
No. I think as you get to the middle, and you see the fighting, and you see these aliens fighting each other. I did like the action. I thought it was clever. I liked how eventually she came around, and she became mad respect from the Predator for how her actions, and she was marked and found worthy to be a part of or whatever. And even in the end, you have this kind of Jurassic Park Tyrannosaurus Rex alien chasing her through the thing. I'm like, Jurassic alien. This is what we're doing. But that was even
must go fast.
Yeah, must go. It was entertaining towards the end, and I know Leah and I are joking about it. We did not see this at 14-year-old and as a 14-year-olds in the theater, right?
I watched it. My husband was taking a nap, so I watched it by myself, and I actually had some points where I was kind of scared. So I think it's job. I was like,
yeah,
I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like drink more wine. I don't love. This is going to come up when we have our talk about Alien Earth.
Yeah,
don't love when they start to bridge the gap between the monsters and people, i.e., when they become friends, if you want, or you start interacting. Because I'm like, we're supposed to fear this thing, and as soon as you humanize it, the fear. So as soon as she became pals with Predator, at least, or gained respect, whatever.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the Predator was not it. Didn't scare me anymore.
Yeah.
Predator wasn't the villain, and I think I don't know. I know she kept. There was a lot. What I will give her credit for, Rod, is the one-liners. She did say the thing about the con.
Oh, yeah.
But she also said the enemy of my enemy is my friend or something, and she kept repeating that phrase like it was like she had just come up with.
Yeah.
We've heard that before. We've heard that before.
Good shit. I should write that down.
Immediately says that.
If I get out of this alive, guess what I'm going to write down? People are going to
title of my book is going to be this, and it was just like, wow. Yeah.
Well, they wrote her like an 80s action hero. Yep. And part of me was like, oh, it's kind of like a nostalgic little play on the final girl. Because in the first Alien movie, Ellen Ripley has so few one-liner type things. I feel like they cranked it up to 11 and were like, what if she was Schwarzenegger levels of cheese? And she was just, So I loved parts of it, but the enemy of my enemy as my friend one, it was just like, Sana, we get it. Let's move on.
He repeats it to the point. We got it. It would be like if I was in a classroom or at beer camp and I just started repeating phrases and y'all were like, okay, Leah, it's now time for you to take.
Please, let's do it. I think you're on the comedy one, right? You're on the comedy one. Let's do it. And let's see if that bit anybody catches on.
See if anybody notices.
Leah's on her shit. Let's go.
She's like, just sail her off to Valhalla. She's done now. So I think that's sort of what was happening. And I don't know. It was, I again, found it entertaining. It was fun. Again, in the Versus series, I think it was a fun addition. And it was, scary enough. And we got reintroduced to the Scottish guy who's very Scottish, almost to a parody point of Scottish. That was in, what was that Ewan McGregor film about Scotland, where they're all on drugs?
Trainspotting?
Trainspotting. Yeah, he was in Trainspotting. Remember, he was Spud or something in Trainspotting?
Will clearly remembers Trainspotting so well.
I don't think I've seen that all the way through.
I remember the character's name.
Well, do they fight to the death in the pyramid in that movie in Trainspotting?
In Trainspotting?
Yeah.
No, they're far more willing to fight themselves to death.
I do. Again, circling back around, this is fun movie. If we were to recommend this, would you recommend this to are there certain people you would not recommend this to? If you were to hey,
not Christy, not Christy.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the scheme we need to run. It's like, oh, we're gonna watch this really fun, comedy or rom-com or whatever Christy's into. Then it's like
Christy to watch Alien Earth because people keep talking to her about it. And I was like, look, here's the deal. You guys know in Knocked Up where the guys are watching all of the films and they point out when someone shows they're naked, basically.
Yes, yeah.
I said, what if I watch the horror film Alien Earth and I tell you the timestamp of when something scary is about to happen? And then you just fast forward. I said, but you can always tell if someone's staring at a glass thing with an alien in it.
Jump scare.
Yeah.
It's dark and there's smoke. Jump scare. You can kind of tell.
Yeah.
If if you're
Then she
walking
won't.
down a dark hallway with a flare and you turn a corner, I'm guarantee you it's gonna light up some alien face right in front of you.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's daytime and it is broad daylight and people are discussing something, aliens aren't going to show up. Can they come out in this daylight? They sure can, but they don't. They don't. They don't.
That's why the tropes are fun.
I know. Well, even in the original Predator movie, a lot of it wasn't all nighttime. They were like in the jungle fighting.
It's the latter part of the third act is at night.
Yeah, the rest of it is camouflage. The whole use of camouflage,
right?
Being in the woods and fighting a war and all that stuff. That original movie, I went back and watched some of the Predator movie after this, and you can really see it was like, oh, that's a hard R with like the gross and gore and people. And these skin people, and this one is like, oh, this is very PG. Yeah, there's some stabby, but most of the blood is green and it burns things. It's not like, So anyway, like I definitely could see that.
Like chop off people's heads and stuff. I mean, I think like you had that, and then all of a sudden she was like, they were like, here's an alien skull. Girl, you're now my friend. And I'm like, what happened?
Use it as a shield. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
When I was saying the plot out loud, like as much, I did actually have fun. But when I was saying it out loud, it sounded, when I was trying to put together a narrative, it sounded, I was like, I sound like I'm an insane person.
It's like crazy. You're in the pitch room. Like, I got a great idea. Alien versus Predator, like, oh, genius! Why did not anybody think about that? We could
where are we going to go? We're going to go to
Here's
Antarctica.
how we're going to frame it. Yep, Antarctica.
Well, we've all seen John Carpenter's The Thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, we're just going to do like the best parts of that movie, but with two different characters.
Yeah.
That's right.
Same group of stupid people wandering, except they're not as well dressed. There was one point where so inconsequential. The girl took off her very thin jacket in Antarctica because she had to, because it was getting burned up.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, she's not going to die from the alien or the predator. She's going to get hypothermia.
Put a jacket on, girl. Put a jacket on, girl.
That's like a 40-year-old version.
I know.
I was like,
you know what's scary? What was scary? The alien and the predator? No, it's scary. She was without a jacket. She was probably crazy.
She's just walking around. At least the thing people had proper attire.
Yeah. Right. Kurt Russell never takes off his parka in that movie, but Sana Lathan's just like, you know what? My windbreaker was making me sweat.
I know.
So pneumonia is what I choose.
I'm doing fine. I've got an alien skull. And I'm like, no, bro, your arms are going to fall off.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to start a fire with some alien blood. Yeah, how did she get back? Oh, she just left out there, and then the aliens just like, anyway.
The aliens left her. I literally was shouting at the as Stuart was like,
how is she getting back?
Can I get a ride?
Hold on. Can I get a ride?
How's she supposed to move that whole like ocean tanker by herself?
Right. Wait a minute.
They just left her there, and I was like, I wanted to be like, excuse me, sir, remember when you like branded me? Could I maybe hitchhike?
Could your next badass thing you help me out with be getting off this block of ice? One small little thing, because you guys are doing crossovers and versus things, and I'm assuming because it's not in the name, you won't actually do the first true crossover in Hollywood history. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. First crossover in Hollywood history. They show that movie in this movie as a nod to the first crossover. So if you, in the first 5 minutes, when the people at the research station that are, they've got all the big satellite dishes, that when they go into that scene, you see the fight of the Wolfman and Frankenstein's monster on the TV as a little nod to it. So if you want to watch the first verses ever, go watch that one.
If we're going to talk about the best, what is to wrap up here? What is the best movie or drive-in? Like, you go to the movies and you have to have it. What do you?
Other than my hidden wine in my purse.
Yeah, your little straw coming out of your backpack.
The wine bra. I've talked about it on other podcasts.
That's right.
It can be warm though. So not that I've done that. But I would say probably I'm gonna be real basic B here and say I love pop. There's something different about movie pop, even drive-in movie, which I have been to in Atlanta. Shout out Starlight. But yeah, movie popcorn and booze. That
Popcorn and booze. I love it. Ryan, what about you?
Mama didn't raise a fancy girl. So,
Middle class fancy.
She raised a practical girl though.
So I also really love movie theater popcorn. But I'll be honest, I'm gonna try to follow the Josh Patterson rule and not try to swear. I think Milk Duds are effing amazing. And if you handed me a box of hot tamales, those would be gone pronto. So like I am a fat adult that still has the fat kid part of his brain very active. So Milk Duds, hot tamales, popcorn, and I'm bringing like a large Coke with that. And yes, I do mean like Coke. So yeah,
it's Coke, like sugary Coke.
No, I was speaking to Leah in the southern sense.
Yes, that's right. I'm with you. Like I love it that now drive-ins and movies do alcohol and beer. That's popcorn and beer together. Movie theater popcorn and a good beer there is pretty good. So, but I do think hot tamales come in should be eaten during this movie because you're going to get burned with some alien blood. Don't watch out. And I hope they make them green. I hope they make it.
The ketoacidosis just talking about.
I know.
We're just talking about candy.
Just talking about candy. Oh no.
Well, your diabetes doesn't need to know that we were talking about.
That's candy. Right. Uh oh. Nice. Well, this has been fun. The drive home was fun having this conversation. Have a happy Halloween. I hope that you have lots of jump scares, lots of candy. I hope that you walk up to a house and someone answers the door in a Georgia Bulldog sweatshirt, and she hands you a bottle of wine and a full Snickers bar and a bottle of insulin to go along. And on that, folks, happy Halloween.
Thank you all so much for your time listening to this episode. If you want to help sponsor our show, but you can't quite do the membership thing, commit to that once a month payment, good news, you can leave a donation on our Fourth Wall website. You also can get some free content over there. So if you don't have the money for the membership, but you still want to hear some of the extras and bonuses we do over on Fourth Wall, there's an option for that. If you want to support the show without that commitment every month, again, you can donate over there. Every little bit helps. Our show has a lot of needs when it comes to equipment, when it comes to going to some of the events we want to go to, advertising, getting the word out about our show. It takes a lot, and we really appreciate each and every person who's able to help us do it, even if it's something free, just like the free membership or leaving a rate and review on our site. Every little bit helps. Your time listening to this helps, and we appreciate all of you. We're so proud of the community we formed over at Systematic Ecology, and we're very happy and we're proud that you're a part of it. Thank you so much for your time and for being a part of this community.
Hi, friends. It's Laura here, and I just wanted to say thank you for listening to our show. Systematic Ecology is a part of a larger podcast network called the Anazal Podcast Network. Dummy for Theology is Joshua Noel's show discussing different theological topics from various perspectives and attempting to give people more questions than answers. My Seminary Life is Brandon Knight's show. It started as him going through what he was learning in seminary, and after he graduated, he's been doing independent studies and has a lot of fun series like on hermeneutics, Bonhoeffer Summer, and worship. And then Friday Night Frights is a monthly show with Christian Ashley and Joe Day. They have a vote on the Systematic Ecology Facebook group to choose a topic each month and discuss everything from cryptos to ghosts to aliens to serial killers and more. So we hope you'll give it a listen, and thanks for being part of what we're putting out there.